folks. Another episode of the RSL Random Fan Podcast. We have one game to talk about tonight for this week. Well, it's kind of the carbon copy of the last one. But before we do that, let's invite you to follow us on YouTube and goals.tv and anywhere on social media that you can find us under RSL Random Fan Podcast. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Threads. We're on there.
Cool.
Wow.
So, yeah, please do follow us. We really appreciate you. And we love you. Right?
That escalated real quick.
Yeah. Well, it's still September. Right?
The love?
September of love, yeah.
Love you, bro?
Yeah, love you, bro.
Yeah. Check out I Love You, Bro. Yeah. It's a whole movement
Should
now.
we redo this?
No. We're just building up.
Should we restart?
It feels like we're building down.
No, we're going to start
We're
slow.
digging a pit, bro. This is Minecraft
starting
edition.
slow,
RSL
and
Minecraft
then building up to the starting lineup. Should we get there? Starting lineup for
So many
RSL.
rhetorical questions, man.
That's what I'm good at. Got to be good at something,
That's true.
right?
Was that a question?
Right?
So many
You
questions.
got to be good
So
at something.
little time.
So, in the starting lineup, surprise. For me, absolutely a surprise. Zach McMath in goal. Before we go too far, your guys' thoughts on Zach McMath in goal.
Yep. I think that
Tactical.
about sums it up.
I think it's tactical because we're going somewhere that's going to be a lot of heat. We're going against a team that's supposedly not supposed to be in the playoffs. So it was kind of like, hey, let's see where he's at, see if we made
You're
the right
fresh.
decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's tactical.
But, yeah. I still am waiting for either one of them to step up and make a big time save.
Well, later in this game, they're talking about his arm. So maybe we have for the
I don't know.
season.
I don't know. So back line, our right back, our new right back, looks like somebody's got that nailed down so far, but I guess next game we'll see. Philip Quinton at right back, Glad next to him, next to Glad, Vera, and then Brody over on the left.
Katranis had the night off, I guess.
Yeah, he was on Katranis in the 18, but I think he has one yellow card away, and maybe they thought, and maybe Brody's been playing well. He is a team player, and then we had the superstars in the middle.
But, you know.
Ojeda and Anelli, and then right back, Dominic Marksuk, or right wing, followed by Matt Crooks, the tree in the middle, Diego Luna on the left, and Chicho. I am a little bit out of form, Morongo. Can't find my form. I keep smacking my head on the ground, trying to get some
Dude,
form.
that looked vicious, bro.
So
When he went after that ball and volleyed it, and then his head hit the ground.
Yeah.
Ooh-wee.
yeah, so
Yikes.
that was the starting lineup. And going up against a team that had only won one game since July, I was really expecting RSL to come out and
Just take it to him.
take it to them, have a nice dominating win. You're second place in the West. You should come out and just make a meal of the 11th place team, right?
Well, they kind of did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great for
You know, a little bit.
80 minutes.
Was that what it was? 80?
Yeah, it was a really strong first 80 minutes. Well, let's talk about the first half. Any surprises in the first half?
We didn't
Quinton.
play great. It was kind of a crap first half for both teams, I think. But go ahead with Quinton.
You really think that?
I thought we just kicked it around and never got very far. We never had a lot of good quality chances. I think we had 3 or 4 chances that we turned into half chances. You know what I mean? Like when the ball bounced over everybody's head and Luna, instead of just squaring it to the middle, or Mark Zook was in behind everybody, just took a touch and pulled it back. And then shot it anyway. Like, dude, what? Square that freaking ball and give your buddy a chance to run onto it and tap it in. Like, you know what I mean? We turned a chance into a half chance.
I think our movement is so beautiful at the moment. Crooks is finally finding his identity on the team. He's making runs that nobody else has ever made on this team.
And he's constantly moving, too.
He's moving, and he's moving so efficiently. I think that a lot of the opportunities we've gotten were from movement in the middle of the field, and Quinton seemed to be stopping and moving the ball back and forth quite aggressively. it was impressive for being as tall as he is. And
No, and I like him with Crooks. They interacted pretty well, and I think that's what led to springing Luna over the top on that one play.
yeah, and I think the biggest issue is that we think we have to be solo one-on-one with the goal and just take a shot, instead of what we need to do is put the ball through the middle. I mean, we had opportunities just to send the ball to the middle. If somebody's open, we have a better chance. But as a finishing team, we're kind of just like an Andreas Gomez takes a shot on the goal or Chicho shoots. And it's like one little tiny change, and we have tons of goals in the back of the net.
But we don't.
Well, it is.
And we haven't. And
it's-
we're right there, but we're not taking advantage of these opportunities. So
Well-
I agree with you, but I'm maybe a little more critical because in the first half of the season we were doing that. We were putting those chances away.
Yeah, that's a couple of questions we can talk about. I have thought for a long time, the question is it players or coaching? What is the dynamic that has seen, as we've watched RSL, who in the first part of the season, they kicked in and they were playing some really beautiful team ball. They were finding their players. They're finding their teammates, just like you were mentioning. They aren't just right now. And that's when they were the most dynamic, when they were playing unselfishly. And maybe because it's getting to the end of the season, the pressure is building, and they are trying to do it on an individual basis instead of a team basis. So is it the players' fault, or has the coaching not figured out how to get through to these guys to relax and play good ball?
I think the coaching has amplified the movement of the ball. I think the ones that are struggling right now are the ones that have been on the team longer than this year. I think Luna is the one that's not used to having an option. He's used to creating something on his own and then shooting. I think Chicho is the same, but I think Crooks, Mark Zook, those new signings, they're used to being unselfish on the ball, and it's showing because we're one pass away from a very, very good opportunity, and it's usually the one person who's not new. You know what I mean? And I think that's the quality difference.
That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, I think it's there for us, but yeah, I think it's still definitely not.
We're still forming almost.
Yeah, it's still metal that's still molten.
And we're still heating
We
up,
haven't
baby.
cooled down all the way yet and hardened up.
We got to blow that glass a little hotter, right?
Yeah, I gotta blow it.
Something.
You just gotta blow it.
Well, Luna blew that breakaway.
Yeah, we can. Well, I don't know if he blew it.
He
It was
poked it past the keeper, and instead of kicking the keeper and getting a red card for the keeper, he jumped over him. Come on, Luna. Take the red for everybody, bro. And then when Julio Cascante, pulled on his neck, he didn't go down. He just tried to follow through and finish. And so they didn't call a penalty.
So where do you? Yeah, I don't know if Stuver was close enough for him to get that call, but I do think it's interesting. He could have maybe
Been more of a
gamesmanshiped the play from the touch on the shoulder, but neither one
Right.
of those.
Was it a punch? It was a pull? Was it a
It was a touch on
neck
the
brace? Was
just
it a
touch
slap?
on the
Was it
shoulder,
a-
but a
Was
lot
it a
of
grazing,
glancing
glancing blow?
the second that they do that touch, if he just kind of spins around
Yeah.
and embellishes
Oh, yeah.
it
If-
a little bit, then you
Yeah.
got
Well,
your
If
this
picture.
he-
this ref will not do anything.
Lucas
He will
Spalla,
have
it was not good.
no. He'll
I don't-
grab one of those little tables with those weird little chairs, get you a little cup of tea, and then they'll have a little conversation about what you did wrong. He will not pull out a card and say, "Hey, mind your manners, let's go."
Wolf should have had 2 yellow cards in the first half.
But there was multiple on both sides. There should have been yellow cards. I think in the first 5 minutes there was a challenge that was obviously a little too aggressive. He could have set the tone right off the bat, put out a yellow, and he's wanting to have all these stupid conversations.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make any sense in my head. You're not there to coach. You're there to enforce what they're trying to play.
Oh my gosh, that used to drive me nuts when I was trying to coach girls soccer. You're coaching these little girls, right? And they're growing up and they're 9, 10 years old. And then the referee's going over and saying, "Don't do that." And you're like, "No, I'm teaching them to do that."
Yeah, like you can either
You
say
can't do that.
that's not okay.
No,
Yeah.
you can do that. That's part of the game. And they're like, no, you can't. And now I'm arguing with another grown man, and all these little girls are looking at us both like, what are you guys doing? Are we going to play or not? What?
Man, the eccentricities of Little League soccer.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's
But no,
competition. it's not
like-
life and death. It's a lot more serious than that.
I get the explanation, right? But I think he has too long a conversations and
No definitive action.
no, that's a yellow, bro. Boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Oh,
there
and
it was.
Wolf, you're just walking around shoving people. I warned you the second time. Third time, here's a yellow card, right? Like,
Yeah, because that's going to say more than the conversations you're having.
correct.
Yeah, there was a play, though, early in the first half where they had a corner kick, and I was really surprised it did not go to VAR when...
He got plowed. Vera got plowed over.
No,
Was that the one?
when Vera put
Cascante
Cascante in a headlock and flipped him over.
Yeah.
Was that the same play? And then the very he
Well,
got-
because Cascante pulled him in and then
Oh,
was
and then he
trying to,
pulled
and
him
then
over.
Vera's like, oh,
No,
yeah?
This was a different one.
Oh, yeah, there were like three.
There was one where...
Take your pick, right?
Over on... It was in front of... to McMath's left, right there.
So it was on our defensive side?
On our defensive side to McMath's left, right next to the goal. The ball comes in. I think they were coming in from McMath's right, and Vera just kind of swipes his arm around and almost puts Cascante in a headlock and knocks him over. And I thought, watching the replay, I was like, wow, how did that not go to VAR?
You know what? I don't know how half the stuff on corner kicks isn't... Why did they not give yellow cards here,
Why is
guys?
it not? Why is it not?
Why is that a free run at some other player on the other team? And then it's just like, psst, nobody ever gets a yellow card from what they do on a corner kick. Why?
Yeah.
I have questions. I need answers.
So, more thoughts on the first half. I mean, we did have the couple opportunities. They had some decent opportunities as well. I didn't think it was a bad first half. I didn't think Austin was incredibly dangerous. I thought we were handling the situation really well, and RSL had some opportunities that they just didn't take advantage of, which has been
We had a couple of
the
headers
theme
straight
for
at the goalie. I mean, like, a couple of chances kicked right at the goalie. Like,
Driussi had a point blank shot in the first half that went to the
Right to McMath.
the one right past the right post. We had a couple of those in the game where if they're on Drews, they've just really struggled this year. If they've had worse luck than RSL recently. So 0-0 at halftime. Was there anything else that stood out at halftime, or other than what we've been talking about?
Well, I was just saying, like, I would take this form of play. I know we didn't get the result in the first half. I would take this style of play over, our success in the past. This is by far another level of Real Salt Lake that we have not had.
you mean like the what specifically?
Well, let's break it down. So Andrew Brody held it down, and to give his credit, he actually moved the ball. He was a presence.
He's good passer, man. Like, really good passer. I think
And
he
not
did
all of them
well.
were negative, not
Right.
just backward passes. So he was looking up. Quinton was outworking any sort of work he's ever done. He was able to possess the ball and move it forward. Crooks is making runs that are making us a higher level and just a more efficient upper third.
And I love the way he pulls people out of the middle too.
Without the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he'll just go over on a wing, and you're like,
just brilliant.
yeah, like it reminds me of what Javi used to do when he was here with
Yeah,
Kyle.
yeah.
They would just overload one side and get 3 or 4 guys
Just
on
keep
one
going.
side, and then just play triangles, and then the other team was forced to move and chase them. You know what I mean? Or we would just possess the heck out of them. And they couldn't keep up because we always were overloaded until they overloaded too, and then we would go for the switch. And that worked really well when Gomez was the switch.
Yeah.
It's not working as well when Luna's the switch.
No, and honestly, I think Mark Zook is the answer. Mark Zook is going to be providing a lot of finishing touches, and Mark Zook is willing to look for another option. He's not like, oh, I'm the end of the option. I'm going to finish.
Yeah, he looks like the right kind of guy for that.
Yeah, and I think Luna is not used to that yet. But Luna's style of play before, I mean, he's a perfect fit. We're only a couple adjustments away from a very, very stout and high-level ball-moving machine.
And do you like the lineup then? Is there any weakness you see in that lineup?
Well, I think the weakness is going to be Brody when we start getting higher level players attacking our left side. I think Katranis is going to be able to lock that in a lot easier, and also the movement on the left side wasn't as strong. I kind of want to see Diogo at the very, very top, but I don't know if he really works well with Crooks, because I think Crooks works really well with Chicho and Luna and Mark Zook. But
yeah, I worry about Diogo because with him up top, he's not your typical striker, right? He's kind of your withdrawn 9. He's not your out and out, like, just kick me the ball and just kick it in, right? Like, and he's not your post up striker. He's not your big force pushing people around, banging heads, and he's not your speedy play it through, I'll beat anybody to the ball guy. And I don't know if we know how to play with somebody that's not one of those things.
well, you bring up a good point because
That's what he's not.
Well, there was a couple situations where Crooks was making his run. He was making it out to the right, and Mark Zook was transitioning in, and then we played another ball up to Chicho, and we kind of did that triangle passing. And the tempo at which we did it created so much space off of every touch that's when I think Diogo, is it
Yeah.
Diogo?
Diogo.
That's where I think Diogo is going to show his quality, because he has a quality finish, he has a quality foot, and if you just give him the right amount of cadence or timing to have a little bit of space, that's a goal from the 18. Like that's where he's going to really shine. And he, top of the box in the last game, he had a ball that was on the ground right into the corner. That's when he's going to be effective. And I think we're literally 2 things away from not only having a strong offense, but have a more locked down defense when we play these 3 Eastern Conference guys, Stupid.
Only 2 teams in the Eastern Conference with more than 50 points.
3.
2.
Oh, if you count Columbus.
They're
Columbus, Cincinnati, and Miami all have more than 50. But there's like 5 or 6.
There's 9
in the West.
Oh, there's 9 within 9 points of each other or something like that.
From second to ninth is like 9 points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I like Brandon's point. I hadn't thought about it. That is a great observation about the new guys used to playing a different style of football compared to the old RSL guys. And I think I saw it a couple of times with Mark Zook and Crooks. They seem to have a feel for each other already and what they want to do. It's a lot less chaotic.
It is.
It's a little more rhythmic,
a little more tempo driven. I mean, you can accelerate the tempo and you can slow it down. It happens all the time. If you watch Crooks,
it's kind of like when we showed up tonight. Like you and I both wore the same RSL
we are on
jersey.
the same.
If you're watching on TV, on YouTube, you can see we both wore the punk?
It's the graffiti, the white graffiti one, yeah.
It's kind of made after that Riot album by, what's her name?
Oh, don't even start, baby. That's
Avril
Paramore.
Paramore.
Avril Lavigne. No, it's Paramore. Haley Williams.
One of those angry women.
Don't get him started
No,
on
she's
Paramore.
not
like them
angry.
both.
She's wonderful.
Who, Haley? She's
Haley
fantastic.
Williams is a goddess.
Yes,
okay?
she is fantastic.
She's been my crush since I was like 12.
right
Next to the Used,
But
it's Paramore, right?
Hence, it's the Riot album.
Literally uses like 3rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's why I
Yeah. So we were so in sync tonight. We just showed up with the same jersey.
Yeah,
on.
they're like 20th.
And we both have about 20 jerseys each, so that's hard to do actually.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But back to my point about Crooks.
Yes.
There's a
In
couple of
sync.
points. Just
and in sync.
In sync. Yep, that's right. I had to work on my dance.
You do kind of look like Lance.
Who are you talking to? Him or me?
No, I'm the fat one. Joey
Joey Fat.
Joey fat one.
Joey Fat.
Joey
Wait, that
Fatoni.
makes you Justin Timberlake?
I don't know.
You just
I'll take it.
saying that, right?
I'll take it.
We need a 4th member.
So anyway,
Alicia!
Matt Crooks, there was an opportunity. I think he was on the right side, just outside of the 18. He passes it back to Anelli, and he turns, and there is nobody there. All Anelli had to do was send the ball back in front of him.
Yeah.
And Anelli's like going, what?
Why'd you kick me the ball?
Why did you turn and go somewhere else? That happens a ton of times if you watch Matt Crooks. He sends the ball back hoping to get the ball because he's just created space because everybody goes that way. You send the ball right back.
And he does this really cool thing where he looks around. You can't really see this because I'm going around my mic, but he like looks all over the place like, oh boy. And the great players do that. Like if you watch really good players, I was trying to create a cool stereo effect.
No, I just thought of a
way.
joke that was really funny. It's like you're moving around that mic like Lance Bass in the backstage. just getting around it.
But that's what Crooks is doing. He passes the ball and he glances and he looks and he checks other things.
Kind of like Ojeda.
And then he wants the ball like right back, right? Like, and a lot of times it's there and sometimes it's not. And like you said, if we just connect that just a little bit better, we'll be more in sync and less Backstreet Boys.
Yeah. Well, before we get too far away, Chicho, what is up with Chicho? And going to what we've just been talking about, he's still on the chaotic side, maybe, and not on the controlled side. Would that be fair?
Well, I watched my daughter's youth soccer game this week.
That's parallel.
And
that matches.
there's a girl on the team that cares so much if she scores or not. And everybody else on the team wants to play team ball. And that girl is a black hole. And it's, I think she passed twice last game and everybody was so excited. Because she just takes the ball and tries to run straight at goal and kick it in. She wants to be the hero. She wants to save everybody, And I think Chicho and her have a little bit in common there. I think Chicho's trying too hard right now instead of just flowing with the game. Instead of going and trying to engage with people and play off of them. Yeah. And maybe he needs to kind of slide back into that second striker thing.
Yeah, I was thinking that. And also seeing his behavior after getting subbed off, it's really hard. I'm assuming it's going to be hard for the coaching staff and also him to make changes. Because I think Chicho, because he was in the running for MVP, Golden Boot, all that stuff, and then he gets hurt, I think there's a lot of baggage right now with Chicho.
A little bit of pressure, too, and maybe the pressure's getting to him.
Yeah, and I don't think he's that type of person where he can be like, okay, let me step back and look at this in a different way. He's kind of like, okay, I have this opportunity, I'm going to get it. And that can be also a double-edged sword, and it's not very good.
Yeah, and we've seen him at practice. He's pretty jovial and jokes around with the guys and stuff. And I think he just needs to bring that joy into the game to his play, and I think that'll help him at that next level.
I mean, assists are still great. Like,
How long has it been since he scored last?
It's been
too long, right?
2 months?
He's been sitting on 17 goals for a long time, and Benteke just went to 21, so probably not winning Golden Boot.
But that's okay, which
is fine, yeah.
But
take the pressure off yourself and then go out and just play.
So would you do this? Would you want MVP for the season, or would you want to be the hero for the playoffs?
MLS Cup MVP, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I would go for.
Right.
Because I would say, during the season's great, but I don't want a little plate telling me how good I am. I want the cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there was a great quote in American football over the weekend. They were talking about
hands.
Baker Mayfield. I think it was Baker Mayfield now playing the quarterback for Tampa Bay, and he was talking and made a comment about how when Tom Brady was here, they just weren't having fun, and now that I'm here, we're having fun. And Tom Brady's like, well, I thought having fun was winning championships. If you don't want to win,
I have way more fun winning championships. Yes.
Yeah, if you just want to go and play, more power to you. But the stress comes from not winning. So I think and I think this comes back to the question of coaching or players. Players, obviously, they're professionals, they're talented, they need to figure some of this out. But also, when you have a coach and a team that all you hear about is mentality, it's really frustrating, at least as a fan, to see a team that is struggling with their mentality, and they have since.
No. Clarify that, because it's not just mentality; it's consistency.
Yeah,
they have a very strong mentality, right? You're not trying to say like they're not mentally strong. You're just saying that they're falling apart in small margins.
Yeah, I think they have maybe it's lost the belief in themselves. But if you go back to when they were really successful, they run up until Chicho gets his head sliced open, and then whatever it was with the suspension.
Oh yeah.
For right before the 4-game suspension before the playoff game, and it's just gone in and just totally wrecked the chemistry. And maybe that's a better way to describe it. The chemistry on this team is just so off from where it was. And is that the responsibility of the coaches to try and figure out, put it all on the players? It's kind of they've been coming out and saying. I think Jason Kreis a month ago had an interview. It's like, hey, they were putting it on the players. But where is the coaching? I mean, where is the coaching responsibility in trying to figure out how to get your team to relax and play confidently instead of cracking at the end of the game?
That's super hard because you're talking about a result that is 90 minutes, and you don't see the training side. You don't see what's going on behind doors. You don't know what the one-on-one conversations are from the coaching staff. What you're just seeing is what's happening on a field for 90 minutes, and then we're tying that into, oh, this is mentality, or oh, this is whatever. It's honestly kind of hard because there's 11 guys on each team. Anything can happen, and if one person on that team gets more emotional or gets hurt, is feeling a little odd, that can throw away so much work in like what we saw, which was 10 minutes. And as a coaching staff, you're not playing. You're not the one playing, so it's hard to just sit there and be words and be encouragement and be this motivating force to then just all of a sudden, we suck as a coaching staff because our players, slowed down for 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's got to be some tactics, right? You got to attack certain players or make them do things that are that frankly they don't want to do, right? Like we were talking about Crooks sliding out to the corner and sliding Ring and getting those guys out on the edge of the field where they don't want to be. They want to stay central. Ring doesn't want to run as much as Crooks. Crooks outran him the whole game, right? Like you're trying to make the guys on the other team do things that are uncomfortable for them. And that's what happened to Driussi. He did not get on the ball a lot. He did not have a ton of great chances. He had a few hacks at the goal here and there, but, there was that one play where the guy fell down in front of the goal on the corner kick.
Yeah.
Is that when Eric like karate chopped him in the throat?
In extra time, if you watch it.
Of the first half?
Watch this. Watch.
You want them to watch?
What?
You want people to watch from our podcast?
No. Well, go back. 47th minute.
Why don't you describe it to them? I think that might help a little bit.
Yeah, so it's on a corner kick, 3 minutes into stoppage time. Ring sends it in, and this is the one where Vera just kind of it does
cheap shot.
Half
headlock and throws him down. That's the one I was talking about earlier where I think I was super surprised this did not go to VAR.
Well, you can see Spala. There's three or four guys right in between him and that, so you could see he didn't have a good angle.
No, I didn't.
But then
you don't see
the ball
until
gets played. They do a give and go, and then Driussi just shoots it and misses the goal.
Yeah.
But then Cascante's laying in the middle of the goal.
So he had no.
And the ref comes over, and all he does is start yelling at the ref and run back down the field. So and then 1 minute later, we go back down the field, and Brody lays this ball off on the cross, and Dunseth said, "That's a beautiful ball by Brody." And these other guys really need to get after that. And then Vera zinged the ball just past the post, which is kind of funny because it wasn't his hardest shot of ever, but it just kind of went through everybody, and everybody just kind of looked around like, "You got that? You got that?" If you would have kicked it in, it would have rolled right in.
Yeah,
but
so
it rolled right by the post.
There were a few half chances for both sides, but it ends up 0-0 at halftime, minus the headlock there.
Was it a body slam too, Brennan? You watching it?
No, it was just kind of like a, yo, get off me. It wasn't like he like got him in the head. Like it was literally like kind of like just like a throw. Like
get off
go
me,
away
bro.
from me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then he laid there like a baby.
Yeah, he's milking it.
Yeah.
But we've seen
Sounds right.
We've seen other weaker stuff called for penalty kicks. And RSL has not picked up a lot of penalty kicks So, but let's get to halftime. Do we want to do anything for halftime?
Another rhetorical question.
Yeah, song.
Do you want to do something for
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-da.
halftime? Halftime.
All right, let's get to orange slices. Who?
Oh man,
Tyler.
so many to give.
Tyler, why don't you go first? Is that better?
Wow.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
great.
thank you.
Oh, okay, very decisive of you. I will give my
Unless
first
you don't
half
want to go first.
orange slice to your bite hole. I mean to Crooks. Crooks. I thought he was lively. Thought he ran the team well, especially our offensive side of things. He was on the ball a lot. He was moving a ton. Crooks, I thought, was our MVP of the first half.
All right, I'm going to go with Justin Glad.
Whoa! This is so funny because you talk so much crap on Justin Glad about how he's not
You
good.
hate him.
Yeah, like you're literally
You're always
like,
like,
he's the
I-
weakest link and
I
he shouldn't
can't
be on the
believe
team.
he even came up
I don't
to
like
our
his haircut.
academy.
He's not very
Why
big.
is he so short?
Yeah.
I think that Justin Glad had a fine game. He was stepping up when he needed to in the first half.
Mhm.
And I think the issue I have with Justin Glad is complacency. I think Justin
So like
has...
he's just always doing this podcast on Mondays at 8:30.
No,
drinks
no.
a lot of soda.
Consistent, yeah.
Just
No,
complacent.
He's
I'm not
complacent
gonna,
in his
I'm not trying to say I do a better
sparkly
job.
eyes.
Who knows? He'd probably do a better podcast than us too.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah. But I'm just saying that sometimes he's comfortable. Comfortable can be is the enemy of
Comfort, yeah. Comfort is the enemy.
Wow.
complacency. Is the enemy of
Good
good.
is the enemy of great.
And I think he might be a situation where he's just fine here, and I'm not going anywhere
So
else.
you see a higher potential in him, is what you're saying. And that's why
I
you were
don't-
getting on him.
You
Yeah.
want more out of him.
I want more out of him. I think Justin Glad, for the potential that he has, he should be playing the men's national team. But I think because he's gotten into a situation here where he's comfortable, this is home, it's a great place to play, and he wants to stay here, perhaps. That I think he could do more.
Especially on the attack, on set pieces, on headers and stuff.
Yeah, he's not a presence back there. Neither
It's been a while
Vera,
since we've gotten anything off that.
Not even Crooks though.
yeah, and Vera and Glad
We have
are
two
not.
guys over 6'5".
Vera and Glad are not
Scored
intimidating factors back there. They're not Olave. They're not Borchers.
What?
There are a lot of center backs out there, teams with center backs that are a presence, and I don't know that Vera and Glad are these huge defensive physical presences. And that
So you gave him an orange slice, and then you just beat the hell out of him.
So
well, you're asking
So
me what
hard.
I'm
So harsh, bro.
and
we need to talk about this.
and I think
We got to.
here's my
Do you think
point.
Silva
too.
comes back at the end of the year and takes over
Not
his starting
No,
spot?
no, I think Silva is no, but I do think for we need a center back pairing back there that is intimidating, and I don't think they are.
You don't think Vera is intimidating?
No, I don't think he's intimidating to a lot of players because of his size, but he is intimidating because he tends to be a hack. You can get under Vera's skin, and he will chop you down.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because
But for this game, this first half, I thought he was great. I saw a player that I want to see more often out of Glad.
okay, can we talk about the housery now?
Yeah.
The spit housery, if you will.
Ooh.
Sorry for my language, kids.
The two that listen to this.
But you know what I'm saying? There is a lot of that going on. Have you seen this new thing where keepers are trying to restart and what's his name blocked a goal kick?
Ooh.
Was it Driussi? It was
Driussi?
somebody.
Yeah.
But Apple did such a crap job covering it that they cut away and
It was Chicho.
zoomed in on somebody else's face, and then
No.
Chicho.
That was the second half. Yeah. So
Okay.
he was.
Yeah.
It was like at the beginning of the second half was against us.
Yeah, and then we did it back to them, right?
Or
And
Stuber
they-
just did it to Chicho because he said he's like Chicho's just walking back like he like lined him up.
Right. And it's like, why are we doing that? Is it because Man City does it? Is it because Arsenal does it? Are we seeing that and we're like, oh, they're getting away with it? It's like when they do the kickoff. Have you seen this one? Arsenal, Man City. They start the kickoff, right? They kick the ball back. and the Arsenal guy, Kai Havertz, goes running in. Dude jumps in his way, so what does he do? Shoves him to the ground, right? So, like, it's all this off-the-ball stuff, right?
Yeah.
This is what we're talking about on these corners, too, where these guys are just beating each other up because the ball's not in play, and it doesn't rise to the level of yellow card until what? Till when? You know, like, at what point are these things going to be yellow cards? If you kick the ball away, all of a sudden now it's a yellow card because you're delaying a restart. But you're delaying a restart doing the same thing as well. So why not
Good
just
point.
a couple yellow cards and then boom, everybody stops doing it.
So until we get a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Messi referee, we're just gonna have to just be like, we don't know. You know what I mean? Because there is no referee that's like, oh my gosh, dude, that is the best referee
Right.
that has ever lived.
Well, and then all these players are kind of trying to innovate, right? They're trying to be the guy on their team, right?
Yeah.
They're trying to help their teammates out, right? So the big guy goes in and knocks over the little guy, and then everybody wants to fight each other, and you know.
Yeah. Stay humble though.
Yeah, like stay humble, right?
Yeah.
That's what Erling Haaland taught us.
Stay humble.
Stay humble.
I
Yeah,
loved it. I loved it
I do
so
not
much.
like that guy.
And I
You
love
don't like Erling Haaland?
No, I think he's a fantastic player, but
Absolutely.
just play.
Just play. Don't throw the ball off the
There's-
opponent's.
Right.
What?
You're the biggest guy on the other
No,
team. You don't need to take
no,
the
no,
ball
no.
and slap him in the head.
Okay.
Just go give him a wet willy, dude. Like give him a wet willy.
How
That's
much-
way more insulting.
How much money is Erling Haaland making? So, like, literally, this kid is never being told no.
Right.
The only person that will say no to
Exactly.
him is
His mom.
Pep. Literally. And so that behavior is gonna happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And nobody's
Until
gonna cross
the
him.
referee stops
And
it.
football
Or
this
or
is,
the FA.
Or the
Oh, no.
or
This-
the cup. Yeah.
football is so fake. Like when what was it? Driussi did something to Chicho in this game. He like hit him down or something like that, and then immediately Apple shows Driussi walking by Chicho and just tapping him on the butt. Like, yeah, we're good. Like this
Oh,
game
yeah.
is so
Yeah.
like fake in regards to being tough and like hurting people. That kind of shithousery is gonna happen. You can edit that out.
You edited it out.
No, we just leave it in there.
See?
Sorry, kids.
See
Kids.
what happens?
Sorry,
We're
kids.
just playing a little
Welcome to adult language.
random fan podcast.
I don't like it. I like there's a limit. Everybody has their limit of gamesmanship that they will tolerate.
Yeah.
And I didn't see too much of this.
Gamesmanship, is that what you call it?
Gamesmanship.
Gamesmanship.
But I
Dunsethery.
done Sethery. The Dark Arts.
The dark arts.
I don't like a ton of it, but like I was really stunned.
If your team's winning, though,
With
it's
Holland.
fun.
Yeah.
If your team's losing,
It's
you're
not.
pissed.
Oh yeah.
Like when Holland throws the ball off the back of a guy's head after a goal.
Not cool,
And
dude.
how do you
cool.
not?
How do you not card that? That's
Yeah.
that's in the rule book.
How do you
If
not
someone
get
picks it-
suspended?
Right.
You're disrespecting the game.
It's just like when
Take that.
it happened in MLS a couple weeks ago. Dallas picked the ball up and threw it in right off the Kansas City dude's forehead.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And then the Kansas City guy ran off and knocked him over. You know
what's a
pushed
crazy
him down,
comparison?
and then he was like, "Ow, that hurt." It's like you just threw the ball in his face and then stood there like nothing happened.
Well, I think it's
Come
weird to think
on.
this way, but I think the refs in MLS are actually setting what's happening everywhere else, which is weird. I don't know if that's just because we're American and I'm thinking that way, but
No,
We-
there's
we-
something to that.
like we are like kind of just like setting the tone for what's accepted and what's not.
I
in
think
some
it started
ways.
with the instant replay stuff, right? Like,
Instant replay, and then also the can't kick the ball to delay a start. That's like only MLS that started that, and I think they're kind of gonna
other places started doing
Well, they,
it.
Yeah.
they enact the laws at different times.
Yeah.
So they
Emphasize
because
different
of-
parts.
our season starts at the start of the year.
Oh, okay.
So we went first because we started in January, and the changes weren't in the EPL until the
In
next
England
season.
and stuff.
So we
Yeah.
do get some of that stuff first. But also, did you give out an orange slice?
I did.
And I did. Did you?
No, I did not.
Okay.
My orange slice, well, other than Brian Ojeda and Emeka and Nelly, who are always going to apparently just They have the orange field of oranges. They have a field of oranges. I would honestly...
Not just a tree. They have a whole field.
They have an orchard.
A grove.
They make us
Is it an orchard or is it a grove?
They make us a really good team.
It's an orange grove. Orchard is just apples.
Apple orchard, orange grove.
Pear orchard? Is it an orchard?
No, I think pear is grove-churd.
Grove-churd. I am Groot over there. I'm going to give it to Quentin.
Oh, good one.
I think Quentin is turning into something amazing.
Is he our new right back?
How can he not be?
I hope not, but
you kind of hope so too, right?
because at the end of the game, yeah, he's getting winded because he's not in shape. He's a tall guy. Tall guys don't have massive reserves of running. You know what I mean? Like, those appendages take a lot of energy.
But he actually got a couple of counters started.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
right?
If he has the quality on the ball like he showed in this game, I want him.
And last game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. In last game, he was doing really good. But yeah, if he keeps his quality, passing the ball, possessing the ball, taking the ball away, if he keeps that quality, I want him right back.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So orange slice to that boy.
All right. Anything else? Halftime?
Halftime again.
Halftime over.
Mm-mm-mm.
And we started off with a bang.
All right. Second half. 48th minute.
I love it when Anelli stole the ball from Brody and then chipped it to the back post. And when he did that, I was
Ojeda?
like, why did you chip it, Ojeda? So it wasn't Anelli, it was Ojeda.
I was going to
But
say
it
that's
looked
a different
like
color.
It looked like he chipped it, but he drove it in such a way that I thought it was a chip. And apparently so did the defender for the Austins.
The trees.
The trees.
The Verde.
Verde.
The green.
I can't believe you guys don't like those kits, though.
I do.
Oh my
like
gosh.
these. I
love
do
the
like
kits.
these.
It's exactly what I had prayed for and hoped for my whole life.
Dude,
they
honestly,
come up with
so
a
good.
really obnoxious front kit. If they would have kept it like the back of the kit, I would have been cool. But no, they had to go obnoxious with the front kit, and they got the result that they deserved this season. Based on their kit.
No,
No,
it's a solid kit.
No,
I like it.
definitely good from behind. But in the front, nothing, no way. Because it looks like something I made in junior high when they were like, you can make your own t-shirt. You know what I'm gonna make? I'm gonna make this prison inmate t-shirt with green and black. Nah, dude. That's a poorly executed
Sorry.
concept.
You okay over there?
I don't know.
Anyway, so Ojeda chips the ball, and
It's a lovely chip.
it ends up being a beautiful chip, but when it's chipping away from the camera, it's really hard to tell depth perception. And so I was like, what are you doing? And then it goes over his head, and Chicho knocks it down, and I'm like, oh, yeah. And so Chicho knocks it down and just takes a great shot, right?
And before he's taking the shot, just watching Crooks, if you watch the replay, look at Crooks finding space.
Yeah.
Oh, he kind of pulls away and finds space. Stuver barely makes the save, to be fair. He had to do kind of a kick knee save thing. And Crooks found the ball. Just blopped it up and over, and Stuver couldn't get there.
And, yeah, so RSL's up 1-0, and you're thinking, all right, let's
There it is.
be
We're breaking the
professionals.
backs. Breaking the will of the other team with their stupid prison outfits.
Their QR code front, right?
Yeah.
But then, a little bit after the
then
meeting,
we subbed
60th
Chicho.
minute. 60th minute, a very early sub. Surprising early sub.
I think Chicho might have had a concussion.
Dude.
He might have been a little dingy. I don't know. But if that was the reason for the sub, I'm all for it. Keep that guy healthy. Get him back to form. Let's figure out the way to get that guy's scoring boots back on. He basically created the first goal.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, he created the move.
Crooks
He got
followed it up and finished it, but,
Yeah, he put the ball on frame to create opportunities. And
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great. This is the sub that I like, though. I like the 60-minute sub, especially in humidity. I
Yeah.
want the 60-minute sub. I
especially
don't want.
with a guy that might be concussed.
Yeah, I don't
I
want.
mean, not concussed, but, he's got a headache.
He's banged up, and we were technically. I mean, what, 2 years ago? Did we start this podcast 2 years ago? 3 3 years ago?
This is our third season, yes.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We've been around. I just remember when we first started this, we always complained about not getting subs until like the 80th
Way
minute.
late, yeah.
Yeah. And now it's like, oh, yeah, 60th minute. This is actually good, but then you
It's
guys
like
are
right after the goal, right?
Well, right
Oh, well,
after the goal, because they saw
not
something
right after,
and they
but-
wanted to change it. The one thing I didn't like, though, was Julio.
He-
Why are we subbing Julio on? Because Julio creates too much dead space behind him for us to be defensive minded
He's
at
too
the same time.
fast. He overruns the play a lot.
As long as our number 10 can handle it,
Right.
right? If our number 10 can still
Connect.
connect,
Yeah.
then yeah, let him do that. But this was not the game that I was thinking, oh, his speed is going to be great. Because Austin was so good on countering back as soon as they got the ball.
Well, and we were not getting balls behind. We got a couple in the first half,
Yeah.
but
But also, when he gets isolated, the other guys don't try to work as hard as the guy on the ball. And so
Yeah,
we
they're
get
like,
all that. Just
good
so
luck,
much
bro. We'll just lob a ball up there, and then everybody watches.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we become more and more dead, and I think that was the catalyst for us getting winded at the end of the game because we weren't moving as a team. There was so much of just like, okay, go, and then we're like walking and trying to catch our breath, and then we're focusing on the fact that we're tired instead of staying in rhythm, staying in cadence, and just moving the ball together.
Keeping your
strange.
shape.
Like marathon runners, right? They have people that literally run the marathon with the person that's trying to set the record just so he can be in rhythm the entire time.
Somebody to pace. Some rabbits, they're called.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all Ethiopian, so I don't know.
Dude, you know, they can actually start the race and help people out, and then on occasion they have been at the pace that they're supposed to be at, and they look back, nobody's there, and they're like,
Oh yeah, the one guy.
I'm gonna go win
Yeah,
this
he-
race.
he ran it,
And
yeah.
then he went and run
And he
the
like
marathon.
world recorded
Yeah.
too.
And it was like, I'm feeling good. I think I'll just go win.
So yeah, you
Anyway.
know, if they wanted to make the same sub, maybe put Diego in for Chicho,
Yeah.
and then leave Luna in. And I think there's Luna and Crooks. I don't know if they can be the same space in the same team.
You think so? You don't think that Luna and Chicho can connect?
No, I'm talking about Luna and Crooks. I mean,
Oh, no, I think because
That's an
I
interesting point.
because after watching this in 2x Zoom, you kind of get a little, you get like
You zoom in
bigger,
2x?
bigger picture. No, you just fast forward to 2x so you can see
Okay.
you can see formations much better and like how they're moving as a unit.
Yeah.
And Crooks off the right was doing this run like we were showing where he's moving at an angle forward that then lets Mark Zook kind of drop back to then work with Chicho, and it's kind of like this, like they're sewing. You know what I mean? Like they're sewing a blanket. Like you just see him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. If Luna can create the same thing, that's going to open up so much empty space for options on the opposite side of the field where we have that long ball now, and it looks like we're pretty comfortable moving that long ball. When we drop that back two lines to our center backs, that's a quick ball to the right side, and now we can move up forward, but then at the same time have like 3 or 4 guys crash the middle, and we become like a dynamic force, man. That's what I'm saying. Like we were so close to just being this stupidly good team.
and I think we talked about it last podcast too. Let's keep this season in perspective too. This has been a fantastic season.
Yeah.
We were sitting in second place before this game. We had an opportunity to really separate ourselves and
Solidify our place.
solidify our place and stay in second place, but it didn't happen. So we're sitting in third now.
What's the point difference? Is it 2 points
From what?
from second?
No, LAFC are ahead of us
Excuse me.
by, what's the standings overall? It's not supposed to ask questions you don't know the answers to.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry,
In the
guys.
middle of
How
our-
long have we been doing? You're supposed to
LAFC
ask rhetorical questions.
LAFC are
That's
on
right.
52, and so are we, but they have only played 30, and we've played 30.
And they have one more win than us. And wins are the tiebreaker. The first tiebreaker in Major League Soccer.
And then goal differential, which we're actually ahead of them, even though we're not still first in the West.
So the second goal came in the 65th minute when they went back and VAR'd a handball. Thoughts on the handball? We had a PK
I can't
go
believe he
against.
didn't call it in real time. Was he not watching the ball? maybe sometimes refs don't watch the ball because they're watching players and what they're doing to each other.
Yeah.
But that was a pretty obvious handball that Wolf just reached out and smacked the ball because it was going right to Crooks, and he's like, doink.
And a lot of times when they're
Pretty
officiating,
obvious.
they officiate a lot of the times with their ears. So they
With their ears?
yeah.
Do you officiate with your ears?
Yeah, absolutely. When the reffing,
Brett, how do you officiate with your ears?
they hear the ball. They hear the ball go off players.
I'm the ball.
They may not see it, but they can hear it. So yeah.
Oh, are you talking
think we
about
should-
linesmen, like ARs and stuff?
No.
I get it with
like,
an
they're
AR.
they're like a bat. They just
No,
go,
I think
and then it bounces off, and then they
no,
can just
I think there's a
redirect.
lot. We'll get a ref on.
Echolocation.
We'll get another ref on, and they can play. 'Cause
Echolocation. I love it. No.
Yeah.
there's a lot of.
No, I get
So you
that.
could-
You're
you could hear
looking
the
down the
handball.
line, you can hear the ball kicked, and that's when
You
you
can
call
hear the
it.
handball.
Once the ref gets into the flow state, every time that ball is touched, it just sends like the sound wave that encompasses all the bodies, so they can see
And the
without
universe
their eyes.
reaches out to his brain
Yeah.
and says,
Be
that ball did not go as intended.
It's like Toph, the Earthbender
B1.
from Avatar.
Yeah.
one with the ball.
Yeah, she metal bends because she can feel.
Is that the one with
These-
the arrow on his head?
Yeah, that's Avatar.
Okay.
The
Ankh,
boring
if
Ankh,
you're
yeah.
doing the
live
Japanese
action.
version.
I don't know if I've ever
M.
seen
Night
a more.
Shyamalan, terrible.
That was just awful. I
Dude,
felt bad
I-
for Avatar fans that
Oh
wanted
my
to go
gosh,
see
dude.
that movie.
That's the biggest thing I've ever been let down to. I was
Which one?
6 months before, like I got pictures. I was following everything, the progress of it. Watched it in movie theaters. I've never been more disappointed in my life,
And then that movie.
and I've been divorced. Like that's saying something. Like my divorce is second. My first one is Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's M. Night Shyamalan. That
Oh,
guy
really?
His name is Aang,
Yeah.
and he's like, no, we're gonna call him Ong.
Really?
So that was for us. I was like, who's Ong? That's-
Oh, I thought you were talking about Avatar, the water movie, where they go
No,
underwater
no.
and everybody's
Avatar:
blue
The Last
and,
Airbender.
you know, you put on your metal things. Okay,
The blue
not that
people.
one.
Anyways,
So RSL goes up, the most dangerous lead in soccer, 2-0. And
After they're given a goal off a handball.
how were you feeling, RSL fans? I'll ask you two. How were you feeling when RSL went up 2-0? Were you confident, or were you just like, here we go again?
I was actually playing poker, so I was feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I was hanging out with family and we weren't listening to the score, but my eyes were glued to the TV and they were like, "Do you want to play a game?" And I was like, "I'm watching a game." Sure, but I didn't end up playing it.
I don't.
So-
After watching this, I didn't feel that we were in danger
No, it didn't.
with the
feel
way we were
dangerous
moving
at
the
all.
ball. We were possessing.
It felt like 3 was coming.
Yeah, it felt like there was one more knock-in. But then what I was like the whole Julio thing, the negative space he was creating behind him. I was like, oh crap, this is gonna really mess us up, and it did.
Yeah, I was flipping burgers for some kids, and
Dude,
on
you're
the
such a nice guy.
I'll flip burgers anytime, anywhere. It's like Zen. I love flipping burgers. But on my way home, bringing the barbecue back, and it was 2-0 when I pulled in the driveway. We got to unload the barbecue, haul it, the Blackstone, haul it in the backyard, and I'm like, okay, I felt the same way. It's like, this is fine. This is what we needed. A nice, workmanlike victory on the road. We're all back to square. We're in a good spot, and we are nailing down this second place and the top 4 finish. And then we come in the house after I get everything all loaded up, and I flip it back on, and it's like the end of the game, and they're like, I'm like, what? What on earth happened? So then I have to go and watch, and just some lame brain goals, I thought.
No. So really, it's
And I you know who I felt the worst for was
McMath?
McMath.
because this is his like I'm the lead keeper game type of deal.
Yeah, and then he says, well, I think I've said this 3 other times this season. It's in the first start of the game he was talking, well, it was Beaver's job to win, and then he let it go, and then this is McMath's opportunity. I don't know if those 2 goals are on McMath, but man.
Well, I mean, you always want to see an effort. And that was the saddest part about both goals. The first one, look, he mishits it, and then the other guy just shoots it really fast. And
you can't ask your goalkeeper to do
yeah,
that.
he was anticipating. I think it was Gallagher, whoever's on the right defender. That guy, he was trying. You know, it looked like he was gonna shoot, and that's probably what McMath was prepared for. And then it comes off O'Brien, and it just, it's a timing issue.
The one that disappointed me on the goal is Ojeda. I think this is the difference between RSL earlier in the season and the RSL now, and the chemistry is the intensity that they play the game with.
Well, I thought it was interesting, like going back to
the guy that's ran 200 miles for us this year.
Well, yeah.
Well, I mean, go back to the 71st minute, right? Like McMath catches the ball, he goes running out, and Quinton kind of grabs him. He's like, "Dude, calm down. We're getting run over here. They're getting chance after chance. Like, slow down, bro." And then they did for about 9 minutes, and then all of a sudden, in the 80th minute, they start getting chance after chance again, and like it didn't. This is when we get scored on. It's when there's chance after chance, and we just stand in space and think we're doing something good, and then boom, the ball goes in. And look how many guys are standing in the box: 2, 4, 6, 7, and McMath 8 standing in the box.
And Ojeda, this is the part. Now, I'm not knocking Ojeda, fantastic player, but these are the things that great teams learn how to do is to close out games. Ojeda can see the whole play. He can see that the one player is getting picked up. I think Luna's right there, and he's just going to pass it off to lay it off to the guy that scores, O'Brien.
Yeah.
And he's just jogging over.
RSL killer.
He should have been there first. And I think that comes back to complacency and a little bit of complacency. So we'll go and watch. We're watching right now.
Towards the end of the game, it just kind of
watch Ojeda
dicks around, and then Vera kind of half.
No. So look right there. So Glad and Vera need to press forward. Glad doesn't press forward. Vera casually goes and guards homeboy right there.
Vera should have just put it out for a corner.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't know where you were clearing that.
Right. So it was a very poor clearance that, as a player, they don't know that it's going to be a poor clearance. They're assuming he's got a foot on it. It's going to go somewhere big. So they're going to naturally just be like, okay.
But high and wide, right?
Yeah.
And it was nor high nor wide.
Well, yeah, but they don't know that until...
There's plenty of blame to go around, looks like. But if you watch Ojeda... You've said
this multiple podcasts. You keep pulling out Brian Ojeda as this defensive. He's not the defensive guy.
Well,
and he's got 5 other players in front of him.
O'Brien is the striker, to be fair. And team defense, you try to stay in a line with your teammates, but there's guys guarding nobody. Like when the play develops, Brody's getting goal side of his guy, who kind of hacks it weird, and then Chang doesn't get up fast enough, and then,
So what is Ojeda doing?
Honestly, look, you got 2 guys right here. 2 guys right there doing nothing.
I'm going to put that on Emeka, and I'm going to put that on Brody. Emeka shouldn't be the back line. Emeka should be up higher, because Emeka's the left side. Brian Ojeda is the right side. So Brian Ojeda, after that touch from Vera, shouldn't even be in the play. He's just covering overlap.
Anelli should have been.
Anelli should be pressing forward, and then Brody should be more physical. He shouldn't be 2 legs together. He should be wide and low. I think just because he's in the vicinity doesn't make him
He could have slid in like most people do.
Yeah.
When the shot comes down,
yeah.
Go to ground, try to block it.
I think Ojeda, with a little more urgency, gets there and makes a defensive play.
Why is Emeka on the back line? Why is Emeka on...
I'm not disagreeing with you.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what is leading up to Emeka being that far on the line? That's what I'm not saying, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm just saying, like, why is he in a bad space in that community?
Yeah, these are... You want to go back?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to look. Why?
Why?
Yeah, just press play.
Oh, well. You went way back. Went to the way back machine where, McMath is getting consoled.
Here it comes. So here's the build.
Hold on, guys.
So there's Anelli.
So Anelli...
Technology's hard.
So he's playing high. He gets drawn in.
doesn't
he doesn't
get back
press
out.
up. See, he should be pressing up.
Yep.
Anelli should
Instead,
be pressing up.
yeah.
Brody sees that he's not and tries to cover. So
And
this
then
is,
he
I think,
raises his
Anelli's
hand
fault.
like something happened that they missed, and
Yeah,
nobody
and
else saw.
and honestly, it just came out of a poor clearance that shouldn't have been a poor clearance. So I think Vera should have done a lot better getting it out of there, and Nelly should have stayed high, like he should be doing. And I mean,
Chang was.
I don't disagree with that.
Guard
but
the guy
at
outside.
some point, someone
So
has
Chang
to.
steps, which is good.
Oh, that's Chang. Ugh.
Well, I mean, he forced the guy inside, but then it ended up just being an
Oh,
assist.
that went through Brody's legs,
Yeah,
dude.
that's
There's
what I'm
just
saying.
so much
low,
crap on that
stay
play.
low. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but don't worry, guys. There's more. There's more crappy defense coming up. After Julio gets a chance where he probably could have squared it and hit Brooke, who was making a run.
Right, a smart run.
Yeah, but Julio's going for
there's
the
so much
glory.
space.
88th minute. Here we go.
And
Nice.
again,
Look how
they're
many
threatening,
guys.
and we're holding the 18.
Look how
like
many
you do.
guys
You pull
they
up.
have there. That's
Who-
just incredible.
And look at if you go back and watch the replay, I'm pointing out that Vera was guarding no one, and Brody was guarding
So
no
Vera's
So
job
Brody's
is the center
guarding
back.
the guy out here that's
Right.
wide. He's tucking
Sure.
in
He
just a
needs
little
to.
bit. That's O'Brien.
Vera's job
He's-
is to check with Glad. He needs to see what's behind Glad so he can move because yes, he doesn't have a man marking. But
But he's their outside back. He's their left back going forward. And he takes a touch inside, and it's almost like
so yeah,
Brooke
look, he's
didn't know
looking
what
at
to
this
do
guy
with
right
him.
here.
Brooke's like, oh yeah, I got him. Nope. And then he
Yeah.
to be fair, Brooke got his foot on the ball, thinking he was going to send it out.
But he's
But the guy was behind him already. Yeah.
And to be fair, I went off on Beavers not being able to get near post.
And Zach should have come off his line, dude. When they chip the guys from the 18,
Close the
keeper
distance.
comes off his line at least, and just throw your body at the ball, bro. See what happens. But instead, he stands on his line with the guy controlling the ball at the 6.
I think he was nervous, man.
Something.
I think that's something he's like. If he's had more games in him, he's in that rhythm of
of getting off his line and taking that,
Yeah,
take it in the guts or the nuts.
He's so
and-
nervous
sorry,
of losing
kids.
his job.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that, but I also, I was a little hard on Beavers last time, not guarding his near post.
Did you Twitter apologize to him?
No, I don't do that.
You don't apologize to people, or you don't.
I'm not that
Twitter?
mean enough to where I have
He
to.
listened to One Republic a lot.
Oh, you
He
did.
just took it too
It's
literal.
too late.
No, I try to be fair. I don't try to get to the point where I need
No,
to.
dude, go back and listen
Sorry.
to that. Go back, go
Continue
back
talking.
and
Let
listen
him
to
talk.
that
Let him
song.
talk. He was saying something and we interrupted because we were trying to be funny.
You
too
always
late.
interrupt.
Yeah.
It's too late.
No, I try not to be on social media to say anything where I would need to
Apologize.
I try to be more
But
than
you
fair.
say so many things on this podcast that you need to apologize.
No, I don't.
I apologize
talking
for
about?
everything I've said on the podcast.
You're talking so bad on our homegrown Justin Glad.
Okay. Well,
I said he had a great first half.
No,
And I'm just pointing out.
I mean, all those other podcasts. I
but
mean,
that's-
wait, there's more.
I'm 85 years old. I've watched a lot of
85.
sports.
You're not 85.
Well, close.
No, you're not. You're not close to 85.
I might as well be.
No.
So,
Anyway, so we get a corner in the 91st minute, and we get a pretty decent header.
Was that in the goal?
was that Quentin too?
No, it was. I thought it was Ojeda.
Oh, this one right here. Diogo.
And
should've
then
just,
O'Brien intercepts it. Lockheed slips and falls. They get their left back knocks it in, and
How we were so
Brio
close to get.
their left back is standing on the 6 and has an open pass at goal and just misses the whole
could have
goal.
robbed us.
But wait, there's more. We have another chance to lose the game. And O'Brien gets to the end line and crosses it off McMath again. 3 or 4 chances in a row. That's how we give up goals, guys. We give up a chance. We just kind of deflect it. We kind of stand in the way. It's like, win the dang ball.
Yeah,
Right?
how would have the RSL fan base been if we had given up a third goal, 3 goals
Oh,
in the last?
we would have been livid.
Yeah.
Everything would have been falling from the sky. Dogs and cats living together. Mass hysteria.
So thoughts after the game? First 80 minutes.
Wait. There was one more play at the end that they didn't put in the highlights that I think they should have. Stuber came up for a free kick, and McMath won the ball, and he threw it out to Julio, and Julio took a touch, and instead of playing in...
Oh, Lachlan. Was it Lachlan?
No, it was
Palacio.
Palacio, who
Yeah,
was in.
Yeah, he just tries to do his
He
long
tries
ball
to
goal.
chip it from 70 yards out. 60, I don't know, 50, whatever. He was way out there. And Stuver was in no man's land, to be fair. And if you hit that ball perfect, yeah, it could be a goal. But he was off balance. He was pressured. He should have just slid the ball forward to Palacio, who could have squared it to Locke, and it would have been a goal.
But that's the old player.
Situational
old ways.
awareness. Yeah.
Dude.
Come on.
It goes back to chemistry.
It does go.
And how cool would that have been if we had given up 2
But
and then won it at the death? Which we've done a couple times this year.
It would have been great because we would have been
Right?
in second place.
Yeah.
Talk about home games.
So 3 games left in the season. RSL this upcoming Wednesday, October 2nd, plays hosts Minnesota at home.
Can I tell you the saddest thing, though?
Yes.
The very saddest thing is I noticed. I went and looked at the standings, and like you guys said earlier, we're not standing in a good spot because if the playoffs started today, we would be playing in number 6.
Whoa.
Houston.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Dude,
And
what is...
Houston freaking owns us right now,
Oh my
so
gosh.
that's the last team we want to play.
I would rather play LAFC as
Right.
like the first game. Like
Or the
two-
Galaxy, bring them on. But Houston, please no.
man, like they could
Yeah.
they could put like their whatever, what's their lower league?
And they're on 48 points, and we're on 52, and they could catch us. There's still 2 games left, but I mean that doesn't look great. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't look great.
Yep, we got 3 games to turn it around. Like I was saying, Wednesday we host Minnesota here, and Minnesota's been playing better.
369.
And then we go away to San Jose. Is that right? And
Yep.
Then we come back to Vancouver.
Vancouver on October 19th.
To finish it
To
up.
finish up, we're going to allow Damir Krylak to score his last ever MLS goal against us.
Now, to be fair, right now Vancouver's clinched a playoff spot. They're in 7th place. Minnesota's in 8th and has not clinched. So Minnesota's going to come in desperate, having played 31 games on 45 points. And sitting in 8th place, tied with Portland on 45 points, and trying to overtake Vancouver. So hopefully by the last game of the season, Vancouver's wrapped things up. We're in 2nd place, and LAFC can't catch us or whatever. But that's probably not going to happen. We probably need to win both these games to get our home field advantage in the playoffs.
Yep, so we want to finish top 4.
Yep.
All right, anything else for RSL related?
No, that's the end of the podcast.
No,
Wait
no.
for it. No,
It's time for the Come
What?
On
What?
Crawley update. Well, go ahead.
no. I was just going to do this. Are you ready
Yeah,
for
go
that?
ahead. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That's even more important.
Okay, so
Wait, Matt Damon is sponsoring us?
yes,
Matt Damon could not be here tonight, so
Oh,
we'll try and
man.
we ran out of time. We'll try and get Matt Damon on the podcast next
Okay.
time.
I want to talk to you guys about financial planning.
Ooh,
Our boys over at Elysium Financial are sponsoring this podcast today. Go to myelysium.com. Now, if you remember the old movie, what was it called? Who was in that movie?
wasn't it Matt
Matt Damon, yeah. Elysium, yeah. So if you need a refresher on what Elysium is, you can go watch that movie. It's a little rough for the kids, but, you know.
Don't do it, kid. Don't
It's-
go see it.
Elysium basically is finding your heaven here on earth.
Oh,
Finding your better place.
your financial
Moving
better place?
yourself to a better path in life. And that's what Elysium does. Financial planning, along with education, analyzation, recommendations, all sorts of Asians over there. They do also wills and trusts. Take care of your family, preserve your wealth, your future, your peace of mind. You know, make sure you know where the kids are going if something were to happen to you or your wife or your both of you, right? Make sure that that's all navigated and planned out. They also are a full-service law firm with tax prep, real estate and mortgage advice, and business solutions. So call up Jeff he's on there. Just go to the website ut.myelysium.com, ELYSIUM. That's ut.myelysium.com.
Awesome. Glad to have a new sponsor.
Whoop, whoop.
And also, back to the Come On Crawley update. Not as important as having sponsors, but definitely
Dude,
appreciate
talk about
it.
that last game, though.
Yeah, what happened there?
Yeah.
No, first of all, I didn't get it. I was looking for a black armband.
Really?
Yeah, I needed to get a black armband, get it on there, because
For the Olympics?
no, Crawley Town, Scott Lindsay, no longer the head coach.
Boo.
Whoa.
I saw that on Instagram and I was like, ooh, this
They
is
let
really
him
off
go?
topic.
What? Why?
No, they didn't let him go.
Oh, what happened?
He wanted to go.
He wanted to go.
Well, the owners are like, hey, if you want to, they're not going to stop anybody from going someplace they want to go, right?
Okay.
And they hadn't locked him down with a long-term contract, and MK Dons called, and they have new Saudi owners, and
Wait,
so
aren't the MK Dons in the same division?
no.
No, they're in the
They're in the
League
lower division?
Yeah,
League Two.
they're in League Two because Crawley Town and Scott Lindsay whacked them so bad in the playoffs, 8-1 EFL record.
That's right.
They got to stay in League Two, and Crawley went to League One.
And then they
But-
hired away their coach mid-season?
Yeah, that's where Liam Kelly is too.
I know, dude.
And-
What a...
And MK Dons have just not had a great start. Scott Lindsay, just an incredible coach, but quickly,
Oh, boy.
we did lose. We lost to Wrexham. We outplayed Wrexham. That's the game you're talking about. We lost 2-1, but they also, Ben Gladwin, who retired last season as part of the coaching staff, interim coach, we lost 2-0, where again, we dominated the play, dominated possession. I think they mentioned that Crawley in the EFL leads the EFL with possession.
Yeah.
They do play a beautiful style of football. They just haven't found the striker up top, but they have fired. Looks like it's a done deal. They've named a former Newcastle United player as their head coach. He was in Gateshead in the National League, and his name is,
Ben?
where am I seeing that?
Ben Gladwin.
No, not Ben Gladwin. Ben Gladwin was the interim
Oh,
coach.
Eric Ten Hag.
No,
Oh,
Elliot.
Bolton
Elliot.
Wanderer.
Elliot.
Elliot.
Yeah, his last name is Elliot.
Rob Elliott.
Rob Elliott. Thank you. I don't know why I couldn't find that. It's getting late. Rob Elliott, who plays a similar style of beautiful football at Gateshead.
Well, they had
And-
68% in their last game possession.
Yeah.
But Bolton scored twice.
Yep.
And they did not score at all.
Nope. That's how you end up in 21st. So it's going to be
Yikes.
rough, but excuse me. It was a rough. I don't know if I was going to cry, but it was upsetting.
Yeah.
Scott Lindsay is just a fantastic coach.
Is it almost as upsetting as losing to Tottenham?
Only when it's 3-0.
Yeah. So let's talk about your teams. Manchester United.
I'm
Eric
about-
Ten Hag.
I'm about to burn a shirt.
He just does not want to keep his job, does he?
No, the players don't want him to keep his job.
What is up at Man U lately?
Dude,
They have
it's
talent, bro.
Toxicity. There's no respect to the manager because the top guys are acting as though he's not great, so that's going to bleed down everywhere else. And he needs to stop hiring people he's already worked with. There's a thing going around Instagram. They're always doing like Anthony or like Messi scored this many goals in 365 days. Well, Anthony scored once in 365 days. They're like doing ironic things. 'Cause
Yeah.
Anthony is not it.
No, not at Man U. He was fine before, but
Yeah, he's
You know,
he
go
doesn't have a
back
right
where you
foot.
were.
He doesn't do
Yeah,
anything
you
different.
know.
It's just
like you do.
yeah.
Gotta be frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing saving grace is Man City might be demolished. I mean, that's pretty much anything Man U's.
Oh, I don't think they're ever going to do anything to Man City.
No, are you kidding me? That's too much money in the pipeline.
Yeah, that I heard last time I saw that they were thinking at the end of the year they might come out with their final ruling on Man City and their 175,000 charges, but we'll see. What about Arsenal?
Pretty good week for Arsenal. The backups played Bolton and smashed them 5-1.
Goalkeeper was doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was 17, I think.
16, I think.
18, 16,
Yeah.
something teen, yes. That kid did pretty well. They had a couple other guys show up pretty good. And Bolton got a goal, which was kind of sad. But then they went to the Premier League again. They forgot Leicester was a Premier League team, and so after going up 2 goals, they pulled an RSL and gave back 2 goals. But then they scored twice after the 90th minute and won 4-2.
Whew. Good.
Yeah.
Good for Arsenal.
Good for Arsenal.
Somebody's got to beat Man City. God, gee.
I know, right?
Christmas.
And the first one was an own goal. It was an Ndidi. It was a great cross, and of course it was Trossard, right, who scored in the 46th minute too. And it's kind of funny. His thing lately is like, of course I scored. What? Like everybody else is like, yeah, I scored, right? And he's like, yeah, I scored. What? I
Act
love
like
it.
you've been there before.
Yeah, well, that's what he's doing. He's acting like he owns it, and he's kind of owning it in the process.
So then it was also a little bit of a tough week for me with the Black Tarantulas.
Oh.
Yeah. After about
Somebody
6 or 7
crying?
games, no tears this time.
Okay.
No tears this game.
But
they are great kids. They are so much fun. But it was a short attention span theater. It was. I think it was the first game where they were like, nah,
Not going to play.
we're just going to do what we want.
and it was kind of hot, to be fair.
Yeah, and it was just like, I remember I was telling one young man, and maybe it was my grandson, he didn't want to wear the blue penny and didn't want to play. I said, all right, well, go sit down. Go find your mom. And then I turned around, and I think 4 other players thought I was talking to them.
And they all just ran off.
I was
huh?
like,
no, not you guys. Come back
where's
here.
everybody? So,
All right,
yeah.
we're playing 2-on-2, guys. Here you go.
And I'll tell you a funny story. We were at practice, and they wanted to play Crocodile. I guess that's a game. It's some game they play. Let's play Crocodile. We want to play Crocodile. And I'm like, what's Crocodile? And Julian, a young man on the team, said, it's an animal. I said, oh, thank you,
okay.
Julian.
Gotcha.
You just made my day. I was like, oh, it's an animal. Okay, awesome. So the wisdom of youth.
Yes.
It's too bad wisdom is wasted on the youth.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, that's the show, folks.
Thank you for listening, and remember, follow us wherever you find us. YouTube, goals.tv, Twitter, X, whatever it is, Instagram, Threads.
Only tip your
Facebook.
waiter. Don't tip all the other excess garbage. If you go to Cafe Rio and they ask you to tip, say no.
Oh,
Say,
what
what are
is
you going
that?
to do for a tip?
No. It grinds my gears. I don't like it when the people are like, oh, do you want a tip? No, I
My
don't.
favorite is the self-serve ice
Yeah,
cream place.
you can add a
That
tip
you
to
can
self-serve.
add a tip. They didn't even do anything.
I'm buying your
I
product.
did it for them.
Oh, you should be able to take some off your bill.
Yeah.
If you're going to
I
tip.
filled up
The
my
tip
own
should be
yogurt
negative
cup.
if you're doing all the work.
Yeah.
It's like, I didn't go through the training. I missed the HR stuff. How am I supposed to do this
But
self-checkout?
when you get good service, please tip and tip
Yeah, when
generously.
you get service.
No,
Especially good service.
I'll tell you, the other thing,
Yeah.
you want to grind my gears, this is what bothers me, is when they ask you, if you go somewhere, you order something, hey, do you want to round up
For a charity?
for charity? It's like,
I say
no.
yeah.
For
You kidding me?
charity?
For a charity?
No.
Every time I
I
go to
hate
Panda
kids.
Express, I'm like, oh, yeah, you want to round up for a charity? Yeah,
No.
absolutely.
You have no idea where that goes.
No idea.
No idea.
No idea.
They got a little picture with a little
It
balloon.
goes to their charity that's run by the company. You have no idea where that goes.
Do you?
If you
Well,
want to give to
McDonald's
charity,
house.
give to charity.
Give to your favorite charity.
But don't
Not
trust
just some
a
round
multi-billion
up
dollar,
My next kid charity.
Aww.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
multi-billion dollar conglomeration
Panda
Express charity.
businesses.
You can give her,
You can't
you can
trust
give her
them.
money.
Yeah,
Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just
She's
don't
a tax
trust-
write-off.
Yeah. You could call her that too. That
Yeah.
could be her middle name.
It's like Lowe's. We go to Lowe's. You want to round up? No, I don't want to round up.
Round up.
You're a
On my
billion-dollar
wood?
company. Why am I giving you money so you can get a credit for giving to charity?
I'm
Just
paying
give to
overcharged
charity.
money
We need to-
wood.
we need to
All
do
right,
some
we need to
research
end this
before any of these
podcast
assumptions.
before any assumptions
bye,
get
kid, bye.
made.
See ya. Bye.